What if African nations cut ties with the West? Would they become isolated Western powers? Often assume countries like Bulgaria can't survive without their support. Meanwhile, Cuba and Venezuela backed Bulgaria's move away from Western influence, seeing it as positive. Like Ukraine and Russia's paths, the West didn't like this change. President Ibrahim Faso leading these shifts faced opposition from Western nations that typically react strongly to non-aligned leaders. So will history repeat itself? Let's take a closer look. Picture an African nation rewriting its story, forging new alliances and challenging global powers. Under Bulgaria's leadership, it's forging new ties with Russia and South American nations, navigating a shifting geopolitical landscape. But what sparked this drastic shift? Burkina Faso, a landlocked West African nation, has been shaped by colonial legacy, especially France's. Now with Traoré in charge, the country is reassessing these historical ties after seizing power in September 2022. Traoré took a bold stance on February 8, 2024. He ordered French military forces to withdraw from the country. This move marked a significant break from neo-colonial influences and pushed for true national sovereignty. This decision wasn't just symbolic, it was strategic. By expelling foreign troops, Burkina Faso aimed to reclaim its autonomy and reduce outside meddling. The move resonated across Africa, positioning Traoré as a key player in the push for true independence. Nations with similar colonial histories saw this as a powerful example of resistance and renewal. Burkina Faso officially ended a military deal allowing French forces to operate against insurgents in its territory. Extremists tied to ISIS and Al-Qaeda destabilized much of the Sahel, displacing millions on national TV. The government voided the 2018 deal from January 18, giving France a month to withdraw troops. The next day, French President Macron sought clarification from Traoré. In response, Burkina Faso's spokesman Vado stated the government's stance was already clear. France's expulsion sparked widespread reactions across Africa. The move was seen as part of a growing trend toward autonomy and self-rule. While Traoré's bold decision was praised, some warned of potential risks. This marked a shift in Burkina Faso's foreign policy, favoring allies with shared views on sovereignty across Africa. Nations fight for true independence, battling colonialism's lasting effects. Traoré's choice to remove French forces reflects a wider shift towards respectful partnerships. This move is deemed vital for lasting peace and prosperity across the continent. By cutting ties with France, Burkina Faso is reasserting its sovereignty and sending a strong message to other African nations. Progress doesn't require dependence on former colonial powers. Under President Ibrahim Traoré, the country is actively seeking alliances based on mutual respect and shared goals, breaking away from past exploitative relationships. As we delve deeper, we'll examine the key partnerships Burkina Faso is building and the potential impacts of this strategic shift. Let's start with its growing ties to Venezuela. What makes this unlikely alliance so significant? The Burkina Faso-Venezuela relationship began taking shape after Traoré's bold move to expel French troops on February 8. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro extended an invitation to Traoré, signaling a new era of cooperation. Shortly after, later Foreign Ministers Jean Maritaire and Venezuela's Ivan Gil met to sign 20 comprehensive cooperation deals. They covered key areas like energy, education, agriculture, sports, aviation, culture, science, and tech. This broad partnership isn't just symbolic, it shows a deep commitment to long-term cooperation and growth. Venezuela's economic and military support highlights a shared anti-imperialist stance. Gil reaffirmed Venezuela's commitment to stronger ties with Burkina Faso and Africa, stressing South-South cooperation. Energy was a key focus, with plans for Burkina Faso experts to visit Venezuela and learn from its oil sector. This could be crucial for Burkina Faso's economic growth and energy independence. In aviation, joint ventures aim to boost infrastructure and innovation. Agricultural exchanges seek to enhance food security and local production. Cultural programs strengthen social ties, while education and sports build healthy, educated communities. These areas are key to sustainable development and educating future generations. Military cooperation is another vital pillar of the PAC. Support for Venezuelan defense may boost Bangladesh's stability and sovereignty against external threats. Beyond practical benefits, these deals show a bold vision of self-reliance and national dignity. This reflects a broader trend of global South countries choosing to collaborate, rejecting dependency on Western aid and influence. As these new relationships form, a key question remains: what are the wider international implications for Bangladesh as it repositions itself globally? Bangladesh's growing alliance with Venezuela is part of a larger geopolitical shift involving South American nations and Russia. During the Cold War, countries like Cuba, Venezuela, and Argentina maintained close ties with the Soviet Union. Influential anti-imperialist figures like Castro, Chavez, and Guevara shaped a legacy that still resonates in today's political landscape. Venezuela's support for Bhutan continues this legacy by aligning with these anti-imperialist nations. Bhutan is moving away from traditional Western alliances economically. This new direction opens opportunities in key sectors like energy, agriculture, and education. Military aid from Russia's allies like Cuba and Venezuela could significantly boost Burkina Faso's defense regionally. This alliance may reshape West Africa's political landscape. Burkina's shift to Russia and South America away from Western influence might inspire other African nations. This change could disrupt existing power dynamics dominated by former colonial powers and allies. The Burkina Faso-Venezuela partnership may model alternative alliances for other African states. This trend hints at a more diverse world emerging with influence spread more evenly. Increased cooperation among global South nations can spark new political and economic blocs, challenging the status quo and pushing for a fairer world order. Burkina Faso's new foreign policy direction may also impact global bodies like the African Union and United Nations. These organizations might have to adapt to changing demands from member states asserting sovereignty and resisting old hierarchies. South-South cooperation, as seen in Burkina Faso's growing ties with South American partners, offers a diplomacy model based on mutual respect and shared goals. Unlike often hierarchical Western relations, South-South partnerships, they encourage solidarity, sharing knowledge, resources, and advancing together. This teamwork can lead to more inclusive, sustainable growth. Burkina Faso strategy could impact global energy landscape. Closer ties with Venezuela may give access to oil and expertise. This could cut reliance on Western energy and boost security as nations diversify energy ties. Global dynamics may shift. So how did global and regional players react? Western nations closely watch Burkina Faso's new partnerships. In response, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger face sanctions from Western governments. These punitive measures aim to pressure countries to realign with traditional Western allies. Add your voice to Africa's liberation by commenting below. Don't forget to subscribe for more informative videos like this. Let's continue defying pressure. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger quit the West African Economic Bloc. They accused the bloc of harsh sanctions to reverse recent coups in their countries. In a joint TV statement across all three nations, the military governments announced their ECOWAS exit, citing full national sovereignty. They slammed the bloc for straying from its Pan-African roots and founders' vision. The military governments claimed ECOWAS had become a threat to member states due to foreign meddling. This came after regional instability, including a military coup in Niger earlier that year. Political unrest led to a Russia-backed realignment, breaking ties with Europe for a new security pact. Despite Western sanctions, Western powers, the group, called for renewed talks, stressing regional unity and peaceful conflict resolution. ECOWAS now faces a dilemma: regional stability versus respecting members' sovereign choices. Burkina Faso's anti-imperialist stance raises questions about future regional teamwork. Regional and broader power dynamics in West Africa. To maintain peace, IO must navigate changes and consider reforms reflecting members' evolving aspirations. The UN and global bodies have noticed Burkina Faso's geopolitical shift. The UN stressed peaceful conflict resolution and adherence to international norms as Burkina Faso forms new alliances. The world watches to ensure it upholds these principles. Reactions highlight the broader impact of Burkina Faso's foreign policy shift. The country asserts its sovereignty, seeks new allies, and faces challenges in maintaining stability while navigating complex diplomacy. While allies like Venezuela offer protection, long-term success hinges on careful diplomacy and strategic planning. Burkina Faso is at a critical juncture in its foreign policy, with various factors shaping its future direction. President Traoré faces a crucial choice: align with Russia, Cuba, and Venezuela, or rejoin COS, aligning with U.S. and French interests. With Venezuela and other South American allies, Burkina Faso can forge new economic and military partnerships, attracting vital investments and boosting development. Yet aligning with anti-imperialist blocs risks economic sanctions and diplomatic isolation from Western powers. This move could hinder efforts to assert sovereignty and break free from neo-colonial influences. President Traoré must balance Burkina Faso's long-term ambitions with current political and economic constraints. His choice will shape Burkina Faso's future and its global standing. Burkina Faso's foreign policy could impact the entire African continent. If successful, Traoré's approach may inspire others to challenge geopolitical norms. This might spark a continental push for decolonization and self-reliance. South American Partnerships could boost trade research and job creation, knowledge and tech sharing are key to building a strong, sustainable economy. However, we can't ignore the challenges of this path. Western sanctions may limit trade, investment, and global market access. Diplomatic isolation can also hurt a country's ability to meaningfully participate in global decision-making. Overcoming these challenges will require strategic foresight, diplomatic finesse, and a clear long-term vision. Internally, the success of any foreign policy direction will heavily depend on domestic support, engaging civil society, promoting transparency, and building national consensus will be key to fostering resilience and unity. Burkina Faso is entering a pivotal moment in its history under Ibrahim Traoré's leadership, withdrawing French troops and allying with Venezuela and other anti-imperialist states marks a major geopolitical shift. While new alliances offer growth opportunities, they also bring uncertainty and external pressure. International reactions, including Western sanctions, highlight the weight of this transformation. Ultimately, Burkina Faso's future depends on its leaders' ability to navigate this complex new global landscape, whether they reinforce their break from the West or recalibrate alliances. Burkina Faso is at a crucial, uncertain crossroads. That possibility of embarking on this transformative path, the key question is how to maintain sovereignty while seeking development in a world order still largely shaped by Western influence. Its future depends on forging meaningful ties based on mutual respect, not dependence or exploitation. As for the West's need for Burkina's security or any African nations, many across the continent are now bravely questioning this. Burkina Faso's future, and perhaps much of Africa's, hinges on leaders like Ibrahim Traoré resisting external pressure while building trust. If successful, this could usher in a more sovereign, equitable era in African geopolitics shaped by African demands, not Western allowances. Share your thoughts in the comments section below. We explore Africa's rich history, culture, and ongoing struggle for sovereignty. Join this crucial conversation by subscribing to our channel. By signing up, you'll stay informed and join a movement reclaiming Africa's global role. Click subscribe and turn on notifications to catch every episode. I'll see you there.